Okay, every year about this time, I start seeing all kinds of people talking about how to drain their hoses and how to keep your hoses from freezing and stuff like that. First things first, I assume you might have one of these yard hydrants. And here's how they work. That thing is 5 feet below the surface there. There's a valve down there. So when I turn this on, water comes up, fills this tube, turns, and goes down through the hose. So then when I turn this valve off, it plugs a little valve down there, and then water starts bleeding out 5 feet below the surface. So what you want to feel for is disconnect your hose, take your bare hand, put it right here. You want to, listen, you want to hear that you have a suction. If you don't have that suction, then you've got a little problem here. And it means that that little valve needs to be adjusted, and you do that with this little nut. So if you don't have that suction, that means water is staying in the standpipe, and then that standpipe will freeze. Just make sure you stretch it out straight, just as straight as you can get it. And then just lay it flat on the ground. So over 40 years of messing with horses, even in Alaska, this is how we did our hoses. We just drained them every time, left them lay out flat. We've never had a frozen hose. Just kind of hold it up about shoulder height. And you got to allow time for that water to run down through. This is a 150-foot hose. So if you go too fast, you're not going to get it all. So you just kind of do about an arm's length like this. Count to about 1, 2, 3. Do about an arm's length like this. Pick it up high. And 1, 2, 3, and then do another arm's length like this. Pick it up kind of high. 1, 2, 3. Just don't let it get down low because you don't want to ever get a loop here. And then pick it up. 1, 2, 3. And what you're about to see with that other camera going down there, 1, 2, 3, is each time I pick this up, there's a little surge of water comes out of here. Drain all the water out of your hose. 2, 3. And if there's no water in the flat on the ground, what you don't want to do is coil it up and hang it. And you just got to be patient. Walk yourself slow. Drain all the water out of your hose. 2, 3. And if there's no water in the hose, it sure can't freeze. And just leave it lay flat on the ground. What you don't want to do is coil it up and hang it, because whatever little bit of moisture is left in the hose, it'll fall down into the bottoms of those valleys and just create. Because what little bit of moisture is in the hose, it will slip down and then eventually make a little puddle in the bottom of each of those coils if there's any moisture left, and it'll just make an ice plug. One little frozen plug or more, and that's all it takes. You're never going to get every bit of moisture or water out of your hose. There's always going to be a few little drops left, and a drop, you get many drops and they become a little plug. If the plug freezes, it's going to stop your water. Wait just a second, and 1, 2, 3, and even though somebody might think this hose is already empty, I can see that with each time I raise it up at the end down there. 1, 2, 3, wait a second, 1, 2, 3, wait just a second, and 1, 2, 3, wait just a second, and 1, 2, 3, and even though somebody might think this hose is already empty, I can see that with each time I raise it up at the end down there, water is surging out the end. 1, 2, 3, I'll wait. 1, 2, 3, let it surge. Keep it high. 1, 2, 3, look at there, see? Even though you think that hose is empty, Now it is flat. When you come back out here in a couple of days, even if it's frozen with that round hose, and water will go right over the top of it and flush it right out. I've also discovered that even coiling your hose like this, even when you think it's completely dry, that it still creates a situation where water can and will find the lowest spot, and it will make a little ice plug and cause you grief. So just leave your hose stretched out flat, let it lay there. Even if it freezes overnight, it will be empty of water tomorrow. Kick all the snow off, hook it up, put water through it, good to go.